Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Premier David Eby handing out Christmas presents to local MLAs. The Rotary Christmas Parade, a smashing success. Salvation Army working on a new food drive program that replaces the local Stuff the Cruiser campaign. Cultus Lake getting millions in wastewater relief. A Chilliwack woman comes forward as the latest Lotto 649 millionaire. And Christmas came for the Chiefs, but the Grinch showed up for the Grizzlies. Josh will have more in sports. Our special guests this week include the mayor with another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. The Welcome Mat with Matt Paisley, your Chilliwack real estate update. Don Armstrong with the Salvation Army and the Streams Foundation. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Our top story. The two local MLAs receiving an early Christmas present, courtesy of the Premier, David Eby. Chilliwack MLA Dan Coulter now has a new job. He is the new Minister of State for Infrastructure and Transit. Chilliwack Kent MLA Kelly Padden now has a new responsibility, Parliamentary Secretary for Gender Equity. Now, Premier Eby has made other changes to Cabinet. All of those can be found on the Government of BC website. chillTV hopes to have the two MLAs on next week's show. Over 15,000 people flooding the streets of Chilliwack last Saturday for the annual Rotary Christmas Parade. Now, yes, the breeze did pick up, but it didn't damper the spirits of parade goers. chillTV very proud to be part of the festivities along with major sponsors. The City of Chilliwack, the diamond sponsor, presenting sponsors Mountain View Harley Davidson and Mountain View Motorsports, and platinum sponsor Realtor Danielle Beausoleil. Now, if you missed the parade, it can still be seen again on chillTV's YouTube channel. Also, a huge thank you to Kevin Plasto for some amazing pictures that are now up on Facebook. And you can watch the parade on chillTV's Facebook page as well. Over 7,500 viewers watched the live stream from home with our amazing hosts, Trevor McDonald and Sandra Bonner-Peterson. And since the live stream, another 10,000 watched on Facebook, and we thank you. Salvation Army food banks and the Karen Share in dire need of Christmas help. Between financial tough times and COVID conditions, things are tough. Don Armstrong with Salvation Army will join us in a few minutes to give us an update on both what is happening with Abbotsford as well as Chilliwack. A long time coming for Cultus Lake residents who wanted this project. FVRD Regional Chair Taryn Dixon telling chillTV that the Fraser Valley Regional District received an infrastructure grant of almost $10 million to help build the Cultus Lake Wastewater Facility Treatment Center. That has been planned for what seems to be an eternity. Dixon put out a thank you to federal and provincial partners for their support in funding the project, and in particular to local Chilliwack Kent MLA Kelly Padden for her advocacy. As the winter weather continues throughout the province, BC Transit reminding customers you may experience some delays, detours, even cancellations when road conditions become challenging. BC Transit does have an app that can go up on your phone, and they say it's pretty accurate. Transit also encouraging customers to sign up to receive route-specific email notifications from their site. And a reminder from DriveSmart BC. Have you checked your vehicle's spare tire anytime recently? Now, depending on your vehicle, you may have a full-size spare, a temporary, or, no spare at all. And do you have a small jack for any emergency? Now that the winter weather has set in, you're asked to check that spare, and you're supposed to carry a full-size spare tire. Welcome to winter. The Kent Harrison Arts Council is inviting you to their 50th celebration. It's coming up Sunday afternoon. This will be at the Ranger Station Art Gallery on Rockwell Drive. Now, there will be refreshments and a brief look back over 50 years. Yes, the 50th anniversary of the organization. And during the time, the Kent Harrison Arts Council has been committed to creating a community that supports and values art and artists. Chilliwack RCMP investigating the theft of a skid steer, or it's a bobcat machine, but it's from where it was taken. ASU, the Area Support Unit that is now located at the now decommissioned CFB Chilliwack. RCMP and Canadian Military Police are certain the theft of the machinery happened off Anglers Boulevard or Peach Park somewhere between late in the evening Saturday night, November 26th, or early Sunday morning, November 27th. So if you have any information, you are asked to contact ASU Chilliwack or the RCMP. It was a good thing that Yolanda Gayasco double-checked that ticket. She nearly missed out on what she won, the $1 million guaranteed prize from the November 19th Lotto 649. After realizing she won, she went up to pick her husband right away. And surprise, honey, guess what? Apart from paying off the mortgage, she and her husband plan to travel to the Philippines in the new year to visit family. Another edition of Chilliwack City Councillor's Corner coming up in just a moment with Mayor Ken Popove. That is coming up after the break. And the Streams Foundation Canada, that's a volunteer-based nonprofit organization working in Chilliwack. Their goal is to, and I'm quoting their website, aid in food diversity for those in need, as well as helping people with needs and doing community cleanups. Zishan Khan is really the force behind Streams. We're going to speak with his team in just a matter of minutes. So after the break, the Welcome Mat with Matt Paisley, conversations with the Salvation Army, as well as Streams Foundation, and another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. Then, Joshua Sports. chillTV's News of the Week continues with Councillor's Corner and the Mayor, Ken Popove. A bunch of things on the go that we have to touch. One thing, first off, was we were both at the unveiling of the RCMP Investigative Services Building. And I know you made a comment, and I was chuckling away about it. This is what 8 years and $4 million buys. And a number of people thought, is this a brand new building? Let's clarify. It's a repurposed building.
It's a repurposed building. Our operations were there until they moved to their location there on Lukakuk, and then it was our outdoor crew that were using that building.
Right.
So yeah, at $4 million, you're not going to be able to build a new building. That'd probably be $24 million. But kudos to our staff. They did an awesome job. He was Earl hair puller, if you will, because they would be dealing with Ottawa and dealing with somebody there, and everything is going smoothly. Well, all of a sudden, he changes positions, and as Mr. Smith comes in there, and he's got a whole new idea. So almost starting from scratch, but we got it to the finish line, and we had a tour, and I think you toured it as well.
I did the tour, and
pretty impressive. Huge building.
Yeah,
but they'll grow into it.
And that was the other thing that some of the officers were saying to me off the record were, we actually have places, not a word of a lie, to put our boots. I guess
lockers were a big thing.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of funny to get that comment, but I guess what they have now, which I've never seen, are very minuscule, and everything has to be put in sideways. But it's a professional building for our professional police force, and as I said there, as Chilliwack grows, we need to grow with it, and kudos to everybody involved, and our team. I love our team, and they're going to continue to do a good job for our city.
Next up, volunteering on a city committee. This is really cool. If a lot of people don't realize that, first off, you pay his salary, you vote for him, you might as well get involved on this level. So, what is the city committee volunteer all about?
Well, we love to bring in the general public who has interest in said committees. There's probably half a dozen of them out there that we really welcome, like another point of view from, a citizen who's lived in Chilliwack, has some interest in if it's arts, if it's affordable housing, and on and on. But it's great to just get a different point of view. This has been going on for quite some time. We're trying to get some youth involved as well, which to hear their voice as well, because we don't know all the answers, and we don't have all the answers. So it's nice to get different perspectives, for Chilliwack to keep, moving forward in a way that we're moving right now.
Being the time of the year, Chilliwack Fire Department, Chilliwack Search and Rescue, Mounties, and the local food bank. In another interview that you'll see right here on News of the Week, Don Armstrong from Salvation Army is saying that everybody is in dire need of help, and the city is getting involved with the Emergency Services Food Drive.
Yeah, the next couple of Saturdays, all the Save On locations, Safeway locations, you'll see a presence of both fire, police, search and rescue there, just to add the idea that yes, we're in a position here where we need some food donations to top up the shelves at the food bank. I know Don does a great job at Salvation Army. If you would like to donate cash, which is actually better, because he can go for every dollar given, he can stretch out to 3. But please be generous, folks. Time of year, well, it's all the time of year, but this especially is a time of year that we want to make sure that folks' cupboards aren't bare and they're looked after.
I know that your inbox is full because of the last 10 days, 2 weeks, weather-wise around here. And how many times have you heard, my street wasn't plowed when we had that first snow? And there is a priority list, and I know a lot of people get their noses out of joint over it. How bad was it this year or so far?
It's been, I got complaints, but I encourage people to drive down my street, which is Beaver Crescent. My street doesn't get plowed.
Yeah.
And because I'm not in like a major artery, I get that. It's been the strategy's been looked at. It's been massaged, and we want to look after, of course, the hillsides, the areas around the hospital, long-term care units, and on and on. Yeah. It never fails. There's always somebody going to complain, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. Sure, I can raise taxes and buy another $3 or $4 million worth of iron that can sit at operations for the 3 or 4 snow days that we get. But so people got to decide what they want to do, and my suggestion is. And this isn't a cheap plug, but for all the tire shops, buy the proper tires. You'll get around; it'll be fine. Yeah,
and clear the sidewalks.
That's another thing that we really, really encourage. I know it's tough for folks who have mobility issues and just the general public who wants to go out on a walk on a nice brisk day. You are responsible for the sidewalk in front of your residence. It's not that we have some snow cops out there. They're going to come and knock on your door and can write your fine, but just do the right thing. Yeah. And if you aren't able to do it, maybe Billy down the street, you can give him $10 and he'll come and sweep or shovel it for you. So there's many ways of doing it, but just let's get out there and help everybody.
That's why they're called snow angels.
There you go.
City Councillor or City Mayor of Chilliwack, Ken Popove on Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. A big thank you for coming in.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week.
Big news in Victoria this week on changes to the Strata Property Act. But first, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So what does Santa have in store for real estate prices? Well, I can tell you that last month, locally, the benchmark price of the single-family home dropped by 2% to $861,000. However, we are still up 3% from September's average sale price. The number of sales has remained stable over the past 3 months, despite consistent interest rate hikes. Could we be seeing a plateau at the bottom? Only time will tell, but many economists believe that as rate hikes decrease, it's looking more like stable pricing is on the horizon. Now, the big news that everyone's talking about is our new Premier, David Eby, announced changes to the Strata Property Act. The changes call for the end to all rental restriction bylaws and to limit age restriction bylaws to only 55 plus. Some stratas had the 19 plus designation, which meant young couples were previously forced to move once children were introduced to the family. Eliminating that low age restricted designations has the intention of slowly reducing the pressure on finding affordable housing by increasing rental and purchase options. There are approximately 2,900 empty housing units that cannot be rented out in the province due to previous rental restriction bylaws. Providing that the owners choose to rent them out rather than continue to pay the speculation and vacancy tax, this should also help release some pressure on the limited housing supply. In theory, these ideas sound like a great step forward for making housing rentals and purchases more affordable by targeting restrictive bylaws. But wait just a second. Lost in the shuffle is the fact that many people just like you have invested their money and intentionally purchased homes that had rental and age restriction bylaws in place. In many cases, units in rental restricted developments are valued higher than those in non-restricted properties. Maybe by accident, the provincial government has introduced legislation that may cause some property owners to lose future resale value in their homes, or even worse, make them harder to sell. While now this is only speculative, the future could come sooner as disillusioned homeowners seek out alternative living arrangements to escape provincially mandated unit occupancy. That's all for today, folks, and don't forget, if you or someone you know is looking for any real estate help in the future, please don't hesitate to call. I'm never too busy for your referrals. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
News of the Week continues with Don Armstrong of the Salvation Army. We get together this time every year and we talk about having to pay the bills and having to help out at Christmas time. Both Chilliwack and Abbotsford, we're going to talk about those somewhat separately. First off, for Chilliwack, we are in dire need of money. We're in dire need of food, and the costs, you can't ignore those costs.
No, you can't ignore the costs. The costs are skyrocketing in the grocery stores, even going up more. So all we're saying to people now is, please help out as much as you possibly can. The Christmas kettles are out in all the locations. A lot of people, we got taps now at the location, so they can go around there and give a tap. Yep. Always carry a toonie with you. That's what I do, is every time I walk by a kettle, because a lot of people go through past 3 or 4 kettles and they're always saying that I just gave it the other one. We understand that. There's not a big deal to say I gave before. So yeah, and the food is just slowly coming in right now.
And you need dry goods, you need canned goods, you need, I guess, everything in this day and age.
Right now, we're in desperate need of everything. We're looking right now at close to 1,500 hampers going out at Christmas time. If you really figured about it, we're looking at close to $100 a hamper. So we're in desperate need of all kinds of food, tinned food, which will last a lot longer. But the one item that we're really trying to do is fresh produce, carrots, apples, oranges, whatever we can get that way, which we use on a daily basis in both our soup kitchen and our food bank.
And we were talking about this off air, but the cost of fruit, and in particular apples, have gone through the roof. Is it just apples that you really need, or anything else in particular?
Well, any kind of fruit, even lettuce, celeries, any kind of fresh fruit, vegetable or fruit would be fantastic that the people can use on a daily basis.
We're talking about Christmas hampers, so that program is in both Abbotsford and Chilliwack, or just Chilliwack?
It's just Chilliwack for this one. Abbotsford does a smaller version of them. We do full families where they just do, they look after the single people.
Yeah. One other thing, and it came up in the news about, 2 weeks ago. So there's a little bit of confusion that, quote, Salvation Army Christmas kettles are not allowed to be at certain places, including liquor stores. Now that, I know you wanted to clarify that. There was a change somehow that happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but through the process, the government, I guess, came back and said, yes, the Christmas kettles can be at the liquor stores again. So most of the places have liquor stores in. We're not going to in Chilliwack this year because we just feel that I would say the Salvation Army is trying to help the alcoholics. So we figure, why should we sit there and take their money? Right. So that's what we're trying to focus on. That people can give our money anywhere else.
One other thing too, and we of course, obviously at Christmas time we talk about the food. What about blankets and toques and clothing? We've already had our first blast of winter. Farmer's Almanac is saying expect another one. Shelters have already been packed up for both Abbotsford and Chilliwack. I would assume you're in dire need in not just both major markets, but throughout the entire Fraser Valley.
Yeah, because that's a very interesting question, because we just. I think it was on Monday, we ran out of toques and gloves that we've always had out front, where someone comes to the door and they just need a toque or a pair of gloves. We could just hand it to them. We're out of them. So those things in blankets, we're always in need of.
Okay. And are there separate websites for Salvation Army in Abbotsford and Chilliwack, or is it just the one-stop shopping? I'm thinking of someone who wants to go online and get information.
Yeah, they're both different emails.
Okay.
So, and websites, yeah.
Okay, so just what, Google Salvation Army Abbey or Salvation Army Children?
Absolutely, yeah, and they'll find it easy enough.
Yeah. And this time of the, well, every day of the year is busy for you, but this has got to be, this seem to be more stressful than in past Christmases?
Very much so this year around. It's like we're struggling for everything this year around. We've been doing the last couple of years, we've been doing Starfish, which is feeding the kids.
That's the backpacks?
That's the backpacks.
Yeah.
Used to start off with 200, now we're at 250.
Yeah.
And so everything is just growing and growing. On an average day now, we could say that the food bank, through our food bank, our shelter, our lunch meal, our pantry, we're almost close to 1,000 people a day.
One other thing too, and again, we talked about this off air and with costs, and you guys are incredible when it comes to stretching $1. But even that, what was it now? A can of soup was pennies, and now it's far more?
Yeah, we used to be able to buy a case of soup for $8 for 12 cans, and now it's $22.
So cash donations, please and thank you.
Yes, because right now we can hold our money and buy it when there's wholesale pricing. We can buy it that way, and we can get tons way cheaper. So we used to say for every dollar raised, we could buy $3 worth of food. Well, inflation has killed us too. So now it's every dollar we can buy is $2 worth of food.
Yeah. So if you can help out, and you're available on all sorts of social media, Facebook, website, and everything else.
Absolutely. They can find us anywhere.
Don Armstrong, I know you've got a ton of work to do. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Great time to be here. Thank you very much.
You're watching News of the Week. chillTV's News of the Week continues, and we're going to have a little bit of holiday fun early. Streams Foundation is something that you're going to hear more about when there is a multicultural holiday dinner that is coming up. So we brought a few friends along. We're going to start off with Farhan, who, are you the brains of this thing?
Well, not quite. I wish I could claim that, but I'm just a mouthpiece right now.
Yeah.
But just to quickly introduce ourselves, I'm from Streams Foundation. The foundation was recently formed, and we're having this really exciting event coming up, which is a multicultural holiday celebration event. It's going to have a lot of interesting things from different cultures that we want to bring together from the community. So I'm gonna start passing it over to all the other folks that are involved in the planning. There's a lot of other folks as well, but some of us are here, so maybe Omar can introduce a little bit.
Sure, thank you. Thanks, Farhan. I want to introduce, since Farhan mentioned that we're going to have a multicultural event, so one of the things that we're trying to do is to plan that in advance so we can organize that. We're expecting about 350 plus people, just about that, so it's a lot of people to manage. My role will be the day off is to make sure everybody is able to find where they're supposed to volunteer. Just overall management, I'll be there very visible in terms of, our West. So anybody who needs help, the food, and we have different roles for different folks. And I have Jade who can talk a little bit more in terms of planning what she's going to be doing.
Yeah, a lot of my work is kind of front loading, so that's nice for me. I get to enjoy a lot of the day of, but just kind of behind the scenes coordinating volunteers, sponsorship, budget, that kind of thing. And it's off to a great start. We've got some fantastic community partners.
Which way they go to you now?
So I'm Guli, and I'm basically my role is to take control of the planning and how it's going to go, the layout of the hall, where everything is supposed to be set up. So I'm working on that, and I'm working in collaboration with the decorating team, which is led by Aaron, and we are collaborating on how the setup is going to go smoothly for 300 plus 50 people. So hopefully it's going to be a great event. Over to you, Aaron.
Thank you. So much of the holidays is visual, and our team, as well as the Chilliwack Art Council, are really looking forward to creating a beautiful event.
Now we should stress we haven't mentioned the actual hall. It's Evergreen Hall. Now it's a free event, but you still have to get tickets early, or is that required?
It is required to get the tickets early, but we did sold out within 30 hours of posting the event.
Yeah.
Right now we have the waiting list open and people are still registering, so we have quite a few people on the waiting list. But yeah, let's see. We're going to have a very good turnout, as I expect.
Now, this is Sunday, December the 18th from 4 to 6 p.m.
That's correct.
And parking, it's Evergreen Hall, so make sure that you find a parking spot. Again, to all of you, thank you so much. You got a lot of work ahead of you. Now, you still need various things. Do you need foodstuffs, anything else right now, or so far so good?
We're pretty good with all that stuff. So we've organized, we have partners, so we are good with anything. We just want the participation, want to have a good time. And then for just, if you've registered, if any one of you have registered and are not able to, please go ahead and cancel that because there's a waiting list and we want to accommodate as many people as we can.
And some of the other people that are involved include Project AIM, the Bookman, Downtown Chilliwack BIA, as well as CADREP, the City, Van City, and chillTV is part of this as well. Again, big thanks to all of you guys for coming by.
Thank you.
You're watching chillTV's News of the Week.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sports. Josh here with you once again. Let's jump into it. This is sports. That's what we do. I'm going to start with football because we are at the very end of the high school football season. And after a full day of action at BC Place, in the end, as they say, someone had to win and sadly, someone had to lose. And the dream of a AAA championship repeat for the GW Graham Senior Varsity Grizzlies did not go according to plan. A failed two-point convert late in the game proved to be the difference as Vancouver College was narrowly able to defeat the Grizzlies 13-12. Such a tight game. In the games leading up to this championship match, the Grizzlies had no trouble scoring points, but today was just not their day. Head coach Luke Atchison praised Vancouver College as a, quote, very good team and said, I'm a little dejected with a lot of mixed feelings, but at the end of the day, I'm super proud of the team for battling their hearts out. Now, as we're used to saying in BC about our sports teams, there's always next season, but all joking aside, congrats to the Grizzlies on an incredible year once again. I am very certain you guys will bounce back even stronger next year. We're going to stick with football because the BC Community Football and the Valley Community Football League's first ever All-Valley Pro Bowl is this Saturday, December 10th at Chilliwack Exhibition Stadium. Now, as we mentioned last week, they're running two divisions, Pee Wee and Junior Bantam, and the teams are made up of kids from every community club in the Valley, with 120 kids playing in total. If you want to check it out, the games will be broadcast on VBN Sports. Mason Boursier went 8 of 14 from 3 to help the Trinity Western Spartans pick up an 102-88 victory over the UFV Cascades men's basketball team on Saturday night. The win boosts TW to 6-4 on the season, while UFV drops to just 3-5. Now on the women's side, Nikki Kabuko hit a pair of free throws with just 4 seconds remaining on the clock to give the UFV Cascades a 67-65 victory over those same Trinity Western Spartans on Saturday night. This surges the Cascades to 8-2 on the year, while TWU falls to a still very respectable 7-3. Now both teams are on Christmas break until the new year. Actually, a quick reminder here, the Chilliwack Chiefs' beloved Teddy Bear and Toque Toss is this Saturday night against the Chilliwack Coliseum, against the Victoria Grizzlies. So go out and support this holiday tradition that also supports a great cause with all the proceeds going to Chilliwack Community Services. Finally, now that Hope has all that Rambo hoopla behind them, I'm kidding, of course, but we can move on to the actual greatest event in Hope. The New Year's Day Polar Bear Swim at Cultus Lake. The dip is scheduled for 11 a.m. on New Year's Day, and no, you don't actually have to jump in if you don't want to. You are welcome to come out and watch other people make dumb decisions, all right? So again, check that out on New Year's Day. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. As always, we will see you next week. After the break, Cari's got your weekend weather.
chillTV's weekend weather with Cari Moore. Now, Cari, we're going to get what we're supposed to and usually get in our winters, aren't we?
Don, the only thing worse than winter rain is winter rain after it has snowed. This weekend's highs may get up to 4 degrees, with overnight lows on Sunday down to -1. If you didn't get your Christmas tree last weekend, dig out those rubber boots and put on an extra pair of socks, as it's going to be a mucky and cold day. Don?
Thanks, Cari. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.